Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by the great Clement to discuss Keiji Inafune's new Kickstarter game and spiritual successor to Mega Man Legends, Red Ash. So let's get started. So, we kind of got the teases of this on, I think it was Thursday or Friday, from the Mighty Number 9 pages that something called Red Ash was coming out, and it looked very much like a Mega Man Legends successor from Inafune. And even the name Red Ash, you can sort of shift the names around. So you have Reed Ash, which was the Japanese names of the Legend series. And it just all sort of pointed this way. And lo and behold, Saturday comes out and boom, we got a new Kickstarter from Comcept for a brand new game and an anime from Studio 4C. So I think everybody expected it, but I also don't think this is getting the universal praise that Mighty Number 9 did on its initial run. But what was your initial impressions about all of this, Clement?
Well, first I heard about the Kickstarter, I heard about Red Ash, and when I saw the concept art, there's a guy who looked like Mega Man, there was a girl who looked like Roll, and there was a guy who clearly looked like Teasel Bon from the Bon family of the Legends games. We even had the red eyes and the exact same hairstyle and everything, and I was just like, oh my god, this is Legends. I look at the actual trailer, because I saw the concept art first, and it kept referencing Legends, like it's talking about Legends, like some Legends go on and sub-Legends do this, and it's just like, okay, this is clearly like a Legends spiritual successor, and then they also had that in that concept art, there was a girl in pink who had a skull emblem on her pink shirt, and I was like, oh, well, that's Tron Bon. So
yeah, and then you forget that the Kickstarter comes out and you get it's the Bones Agency. It's like, really?
Yeah, really? They're the Bones.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind the spiritual successor stuff, and it kind of gets me excited, but it's also like, it's almost too close to it, you know? I don't know how to fully explain my feelings on this, because I like that they're continuing because I love the Legend series. But it's like, really, you're doing almost the exact same thing, and you have Teasels there, you have back in college, just like you had Mega Man and Roll, using the same names from Mighty Number 9. Instead of diggers, they're called delvers. I'm like, it's just...
They're looking for the legendary legacy, not the motherlode.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it just feels like ripoff more than...
I was almost half expecting it to start off that Beck was stranded on some kind of moon, and the characters had to get him off the moon as the game started up. Like, I was expecting the plot to literally start that way.
I would not be surprised at all, because, I mean, seriously, there is homages and referencing the past, which I think Mighty Number 9 did a slightly better job of doing that. Red Ash, everything just seems, let's pull this, and only put the minor changes, because they got that, the blue guy, what the heck's his name?
I think Gopher,
Yeah, Gopher. There's your serve bots.
Yeah. Like, I noticed they had the numbers on them. Like, one had, like, the number 11 or something on him. Mm-hmm. And even when I was watching, like, the trailer for the Kickstarter page, Keiji Inafune said, like, as you got more successful, you'd apparently get more of those guys. And, like, there would even be one in charge of, like, PR and stuff. So apparently those are the serve bots, essentially. And you're going to get, like, a whole bunch of those as the game goes on. Mm. So, yeah.
Which is cool, I guess.
I mean, it's very cool that they're bringing back a whole bunch of people that actually worked on Legends to make this game. You know, a lot of the character artists, Keiji Inafune's back and all that stuff. From the gameplay, it sounds like it's going to be exactly the same, where you have to bring items to Call, and she will develop weapons for you. You're going to be exploring dungeons and looking for loot and stuff, and it just seems to have that exact template that the Legends games did. And as far as we know, this game isn't going to be canceled. So this game is going to sate Legends fans. It's going to satisfy the lack of game they've had for so long. I mean, it's still not going to be a continuation of the story they knew. It is going to be an entirely new scenario. even though it's not really all that new. Like even the background of the story, where like it takes place after a giant robot war that has almost obliterated humanity, and everyone's scrapping by to maintain civilization and stuff. It's like, that's kind of like Legends, isn't it?
Yeah, just less water. I will say that the outline for the plot that they have here, where basically this old giant fortress that is slowly walking towards one of their cities, and the rich people have developed this cannon that they are positive will take it out in one shot, so nobody's really worried anymore. But that this place, Calcannon, I think it is, also might hold the legendary legend legend. I forget what it's called. The
legendary legacy.
That's it. And it's a kind of a cool concept where you have this this sort of ticking clock. Although I don't think the ticking clock will really come into play. I don't think you'll only have 14 hours. It'll be like this, where you only have so much time to actually explore everything.
It's going to be like Batman Arkham Knight, where Batman says, this is going to be a long night.
No kidding.
Because it literally goes over 20 hours.
Yeah. Jeez, I don't even know how that works, but I mean, that's kind of a cool concept. I like how you have this ticking clock to get this dungeon before it's all destroyed and something can happen with it. And I watched that little opening animation thing. The characters seem fun and they definitely have that personality. They're archetypes, but they're still fun, and you can see how they would work. There's a lot to like about this, but for some reason, I feel like there's this cloud above it. Like, really, you're doing this, and you're making it this close to it?
I think what it is a lot of people feel that Keiji's Kickstarter ways are kind of suspicious now. Like, when Mighty No. 9 came out, a whole bunch of Mega Man games got canceled. He was basically introducing, like, what is essentially Mega Man 11, where you're taking on 8 Robot Masters. It's a new version of Mega Man. So, like, your games are canceled, but you're getting this, and it's going to be awesome. And it did way better than anyone expected. I think it made, like, $4 million or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And, at the time, the concept art really appealed to everybody, and it looked awesome. And then somewhere down the line, we've been waiting a long time for Mighty No. 9, so it hasn't come out yet. It's still not out yet. By the time the Kickstarter for Red Ash ends, it won't be out yet.
Yeah.
Which also doesn't inspire confidence in some people, because it's like, oh, the Kickstarter ends before the first game comes out, before Mighty No. 9 comes out. Well, what if Mighty No. 9 sucks? What if we donated and now we can't take that back? Or I don't know. I don't know how Kickstarter works if you can take it back, but
yeah, I think you can cancel it at the last minute. So that's what happened. I heard about one of the some other Kickstarter had made it, and then one of their huge backers backed down at the last minute, and they didn't get funded. So that is totally possible. Yeah.
At some point during development, they made more goals for Mighty No. 9, and then they had like the animated TV series that was going to be a part of it, where like there was going to be a Mighty No. 9 cartoon, and there's going to be all this stuff, and it just seemed like, you're putting all your eggs into this basket, huh, Keiji?
Yeah, seriously, it's
and now we get Red Ash, and it starts off with the game itself and also an animation, which starts off, if we donate $150,000, it'll be like a 5-minute short.
Yeah.
And if we donate up to like $2,400,000, it'll be a movie.
Yeah, that's I kind of like the idea of that, where the more you donate, the more content you get. But that's a heck of a jump from the first goal from the initial goal to the second goal. Like, it's $150,000 for that first set, and then for the next 15 minutes, it's $650,000. And I'm it's pretty huge, but it's also a big jump. And then 8 minutes you have to get up to $910,000. It's a very strange way to do it. And almost seems like it's just a set of vignettes. Like they said, even in the Kickstarter, they said it's like, okay, this director's handling this director's handling this, and it's all going to be just a bunch of separate stories instead of one cohesive whole. It's
even being made by the people who did the Animatrix and Gotham Knight, I think it was. It was this animated anthology that came out around Batman Begins. So it sounds something like that, where it's going to be a series of short stories set in that world, I guess.
featuring the characters and all their crazy adventures, which is fine. I mean, it could be entertaining and all. And like I said, these characters, they're matching some archetypes, but they seem fun. And I do like the designs. I mean, the designs are very good, and I think it's kind of
the designs are Mega Man Legends. I mean, it's Teasel wearing like a Hawaiian shirt and having 2 handguns. So that's awesome. But like I looked at Call and I just thought, oh, it's Roll.
Yeah.
Like her hair, her hat, and everything. It just screamed Roll. That just screamed Teasel.
The fact that her parents went missing when she was 10.
Yeah.
It's just.
Like, the only thing that seemed different was I thought at first the main character was a female when I first saw the teaser, because I wasn't actually sure that Beck was a guy. Mm-hmm. The concept art looked like it was just a short-haired girl at first, for me anyway.
Yeah.
But then it turned out to be Beck. And again, that's weird too, like, just the fact that they're making this sort of a franchise by calling them Beck and Call, as if, like, there's going to be other Beck and Calls in other games, like you feel like Keiji would make a spiritual successor to the Battle Network series, and then we'll have Beck.exe.
And Call.exe and all this, yeah.
Yeah.
You could almost really see it happening, except I don't think there's quite as much demand for another Battle Network game.
Well, I don't know. I would say the Battle Network series did a lot more successfully than the Legend series did.
That's very true. You're not wrong.
Yeah, and the other thing I've found with Mighty Number 9 support lately is, like, I guess a lot of people haven't really been satisfied with what's been shown of Mighty Number 9. Mm-hmm. I think I don't know if it's a big minority or a majority or whatever, but some people don't really like how the art designs turned out. It didn't match what they thought the concept art was going to be. Some people who've played the beta haven't really enjoyed what they played, and they don't know if the game's going to be all that great. I think it looks fine. I think Mighty Number 9 looks like it's going to be really fun. It looks like a cross between Mega Man X8 and Powered Up or something. It looks like the X9 or the Powered Up 2 I always wanted. Mm-hmm. And the dash mechanics seem fun. I don't know. I've been enjoying the gameplay.
I got to try it out at E3, 2 different levels, the water level and the mechanic level, I think. I forget exactly. I think it's part of like the war mech guy. I don't know the numbers that closely enough that I can say which is which. But anyway, I got to try them both out, and it was fun. The controls felt very precise. I was able to do everything I wanted. It's just you had to get it turned around in your mind because of that dash mechanic. Because you can shoot them apart, but you still, like, the quickest way to take them out is to get them destabilized and then do the dash through them. And it was fun, and it worked, and it was a lot more challenging. They seemed to be integrating the story as you're going through the level, and I saw elements of X and Mega Man 7 in there, where you're going up against this one a mighty number, and one of the other mighties that had been corrupted is helping you in the background. So I'm not quite sure if that's you're gonna be able to do the multiple playthroughs, and depending on which mighties you rescue in which order, they'll help you in different ways through the other levels, which I think has a lot of potential. And it was also a lot more challenging than I was expecting. Like, for some reason I had it in my head, it's like, this won't be a big deal, this will be pretty easy. No, I got my butt kicked. There is some really tricky platforming bits in there, and you're really going to have to know your stuff. And I don't think it's going to be like the greatest thing ever, or the Mega Man Renaissance or anything like that, but I think it's going to be a pretty decent game.
Yeah, so I can't speak for the majority. I think it looks kind of fun. I'm going to be there day one to get Mighty Number 9. But yeah, I just see people looking at Keiji, like, having all these Kickstarters and getting funds for all these different things, and just kind of like, whoa, slow down, dude. Like, release a game first and do this other stuff. And just in general, the Legend series was never super popular outside of the other series, I find. Like, Classic people have played, the X series people have played, the Battle Network series even did well on the GBA and stuff, and to some extent the Zero series. And a lot of 2000 Mega Man games just didn't sell in general, but like Tron Bonne, Legends 2, the Japanese remakes on the PSP never really did well. And, again, one of the reasons Capcom cited that they canceled Legends 3, whether people like it or not, is they said there wasn't really enough fan support. And, you can hate them for saying that or whatever, but it might be true. And even the Kickstarter right now, as I'm looking at it, it's like Mighty Number 9 took off pretty quickly, I think. Like, I think it made its goal, like, fairly quickly.
Yeah.
A game like Bloodstained did, Yooka-Laylee did, Shenmue 3 definitely made its Kickstarter really quickly. It's been out for, 2-3 days now, and it's at $256,790 of the 800,000 goal it's supposed to be. And there's still 27 days to go, so it could easily make that. This isn't a bad sign or anything, but, it's not the mega hit that a Yooka-Laylee or Bloodstained would be. So I don't know if lots of people are excited for this or what, but
I can't tell if it's because of the whole Inafune and his Kickstarter practices thing, or if it's because of lack of interest, or just a combination of both. I have a feeling it's just a combination of both those things that it's just affecting people. But I think another thing that's sort of hurting it is that yes, the goal is what, 250,000 or no, 800,000. Sorry, I'm mixing up my Kickstarters, which is also the other problem. Is you get confused between all the Kickstarter stuff since they launched two at the same time. So 800,000 will get you the game. But it's really only half a game, because you need to get to 1.3 million in order to get Calcon and Incident episodes 4 through 5. Like they said, they have a whole idea and plot and background and everything else like that. And the thing is, even if we get to 1.3 million, they have a map down below where they show 2 more areas, maybe even 3, that they could have more stuff. So I think that's also affecting people. Is like, okay, unless people really support this, we're not going to get a full game. And they said that no, these will be complete games, but nobody believes them.
It doesn't really inspire confidence that, like, oh, the game's not quite finished, but if you get to 800,000, it'll be kind of finished.
Yeah.
And then if you get to 1 million, it'll be really finished. And then if you get to this, it'll be really, really finished. It's like, what? Do you have an idea of how the plot should go, or?
Yeah, it's don't get that. And the other thing that's really affecting me personally is that it's PC only, and I don't have the greatest gaming PC. I can't really handle that sort of thing. Like I even tried to just play the beta of or the alpha or whatever it was of A Hat in Time, and my computer couldn't handle it. It was just so jumpy and whatnot, so I can't really play a lot of games on this thing. So I'm like, well, I want console releases, and there's no. They even said in the QA section where they won't offer any console selections until they get all the story sections done, which is noble and whatnot. But I think it would help get more people into your game if they had options on where to get the said game.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Mighty Number 9 is going to be for everything. It's going to be for Wii U, it's going to be for PS4, it's going to be for Steam and all this stuff, and everyone can get access to that when it comes out. And that's going to be great, because that'll build, like, attention for it, and if you own any kind of console, you can get Mighty Number 9 for it. But here, it's like, well, you kind of need a good computer, and if you don't have a good computer to play video games on, I guess you're screwed out of luck. And that's disappointing to me, because I'm a console gamer myself. Like, I would rather play video games in my living room on my TV than I would at a computer. I just find that sometimes games don't run properly because you don't have the right specs, or you have to sort of, I don't know, put more effort into making the game run as good as it should. Whereas you buy a PlayStation 4, you buy a Wii U, you don't upgrade that thing ever. It updates its own stuff. It's what it's supposed to be. You just put the CD in, it plays, boom. That's why I've always been a console gamer, I don't have anything against the PC master race, but
yeah, no, I'm the same way.
It would be nice to have this game on a console like Legends 1, Tron Bonne, and Legends 2 were, because I could play it on the PlayStation without needing a fancy computer, and it's kind of a little disappointing.
No, I completely agree. I want to play it on a console because that's what I'm used to, and I like I said, I feel like it would open it up. Because look at Shovel Knight. It came out on the Wii U first. Everybody raved about it. It did gangbusters on PC, Wii U, and then it got all this press when, hey, Shovel Knight's finally on PS4. You Sony gamers can finally try it out. And then it was released on Xbox, and all you Xbox gamers can finally play it. And it kept the hype going by going on to all these consoles. and just, kept Shovel Knight in the news, and it's going to be able to keep doing that because Plague of Shadows is coming out, and they have some sort of announcement for the Wii U coming out, and that's the way you should do that. That's the way you keep up interest and get people talking about your game. And I think they're sort of actually, this sort of sums up Inafune's style of Kickstarter entirely. He puts the cart before the horse,
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's weird. Keiji should know how Mega Man sells. He should know that, like, the Legends series never made lots of money, and even, like, ZX Advent and stuff never made lots of money, and it's weird. He takes these giant gambles on stuff with Kickstarter. It's like, just release a good game first, then bet all your eggs,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it's sort of weird. Like, I think he does it because he wants to try to get that full creative control. And I think I saw in here mentioned, like, if we don't hit certain goals to get this other stuff, we will look into doing a partner and doing some other like ideas in order to try to make this happen. And because they said it won't get canceled, we'll finish the story one way or another. It's just like either by the sales of the game or anything else. I'm like, all right, if you say so. But another thing that I think just hits at a lot of the fans of Mega Man Legends is that we want to see Legends end.
Yeah.
Get that, have a proper ending. Like I would back this in a second, no matter. I don't even care if it was on PC. If it was Legends 3. Heartbeat, I would back it. But because it's something all new, I just like, yeah, I can wait.
There's a guy who looks like Teasel, but he's not Teasel.
Yeah.
There's a girl who might be Tronbon, but she's not Tronbon. There's something that's like the Servbots, but they're not quite the Servbots.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you care only about the gameplay, you're probably excited. But the reason so many people stuck to the Legends series so much, and the reason it's such a cult classic, I don't think it's just because of the gameplay. Like, I think people really care about the characters and story. That's why they have entire campaigns that are like literally called "Get 'Em Off the Moon" or something, because they want the story to be better. They want the story to go on. They want their characters to live on and stuff.
Yeah.
And having a beck and call and Gopher and everything else, it's new and it's different. And yeah, the gameplay might be the same, maybe. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen gameplay footage yet. It's all been just concept art and stuff, but it's not the same. It's still not Legends 3, and I can see why people would have reservations about that. Just like it's not Teasel, it's not Tron.
Yeah, exactly, and you're totally right, because I think people connected to Legends because it wasn't. As far as story concerned, it wasn't really like anything else on the PS1 era, at least during its time, where you had such really great animated cutscenes and voice acting, especially when you compare it to the other Mega Man games that were coming out at the time, which were horrendous. And for some reason, Legends just had this, I don't know, this passion behind it that everything just clicked and worked, and you love the characters, and that's sort of why you kept playing. Like, the gameplay was fun, but it's not the greatest style ever, but it's fun and it supported the story. And I think you're right. I think that is why people just clicked with the Legend series so much.
Even in terms of like cutscene presentation and stuff, like I remember Legends came out before Metal Gear Solid. And before Metal Gear Solid, we had a game with full voice acting for cutscenes that was really, really good, and like facial animation and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like in Metal Gear Solid, Snake has the same blank expression the entire game. Like he doesn't move his face. No one does in Metal Gear Solid, but people still thought that was a really cinematic video game at the time because that's where cutscenes were in 1997, 98. And in Legends, they literally hand drew like all these different faces for all the characters whenever they were talking. So, like, when Tron was sad, you could tell she was sad. When Teasel was angry, you could tell he was angry. When he was laughing crazy, you could tell he was laughing crazy. Like, the cutscene quality is so good, and it just helps that it doesn't have Mega Man 8 X4 style voice acting where it's really cheesy and bad. I love Teasel's voice in Legends. Teasel's the greatest. I love the Servbot voices. I love all that stuff. It was so well presented and so well done. That at the time, the 90s, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and they knew they had something good, because as soon as Mega Man gets that first gets to that first bit of treasure, you can see him picking up and his face changes and he moves his head left and right.
Yeah.
He gets all that little subtlety to the animation that we've never seen before. And then, again, Teasel. Teasel is the greatest thing about Legends.
He's the greatest villain in Mega Man.
Yeah,
he might be better. He might be better than Dr. Wily. He's certainly better than Sigma and everyone else. I mean, I guess you could call him an anti-hero by the time of Legends 2 ends. He's not really a villain, but just fun characters. Just really fun characters that you actually laugh at the cutscenes, like legitimately laugh, not because the voice acting is bad, but because the jokes are funny.
Yeah,
like in Legends 2, there's a part where he's holding up the city and he's talking about how he's got to steal everything from the city, and then Serbots ask him, what do we do with the toilet paper? And he goes, we may be pirates, but we're not barbarians. They can keep the toilet paper.
I love it's great. You can't help but laugh out loud about that sort of thing because they give him such personality. And the first fight against Tronbon in the Mega Man Legends 2, you beat her and you see her looking forlornly at Mega Man and Roll talking to each other and having a good time, and you're like, oh, I feel bad for her. Like she has this crush and she can't do anything about it.
Yeah. So the characters are great, and that's kind of why Legends is a cult classic in the same way that Shenmue is. Mm-hmm. And Shenmue 3 took off. Like, when people saw that at E3, oh my god. Like, that is super successful right now. And this isn't Legends 3, though. This is not Legends. It's Redash. Mm-hmm. It's a redo of Dash, but it's not Dash.
Yeah. And these characters could absolutely click in the same way. We just got to give them that chance.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's hard not to be a little leery,
It would be nice to have some gameplay footage as well. Like, I think if they really want people to kickstart the game, they should probably get a beta or some kind of demo going just so they could see the gameplay, because as it is, we're not really sure how faithful this will be to the Legends games, and I don't know, it's just people are not really cool with Keiji's kickstarting plans at the moment. So yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see on that whole thing. But anyway, any final thoughts on Redash? That's the thing I've also been doing a lot. I've also been doing Redash, Red Dash, and barely ever Red Ash,
Yeah.
But yeah, any final thoughts on it?
I definitely will try and give it a shot. If it comes to consoles, that'll be awesome for me. But if it comes to PC, I'll probably have to go over to a friend's in order to play it, because I don't have the best computer when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have always enjoyed the Legends series. I'm actually doing a series of playthroughs of the Legends games on my channel right now. They were awesome PlayStation games at the time. The characters are really awesome, and it was one of the best parts of the Mega Man franchise that unfortunately never really sold all that well. And even when Legends 3 was announced, it got canceled, and it killed everyone's dreams of that story being finished. And it's a rich world and a rich environment and a rich gameplay style, and that should intrigue me about this. But it's still not Legends 3, and it's I don't know. It's just the sameness of having the exact same characters, designs, even like Teasel. It's Teasel, They can call him Tiger if they want. It's Teasel,
Exactly. I mean, there was all these comparisons when Yooka-Laylee came out. It was like, is Yooka-Laylee too similar to Banjo-Kazooie? And after seeing this, no. Yooka-Laylee is sort of, it's inspired by it and sort of has that sort of same feel, but it's not it. And I think Red Ash is an example of things being too similar to what came before.
Yeah, it's like this thing is centered around Cal Cannon, which may be Catalox Island. They're looking for the legendary legacy, which may be the Mother Lode. It might just be fun. It might be great gameplay for all I know, but we haven't seen gameplay, so I don't know how to judge it by that. So I'm a little skeptical, but I'm not pessimistic. Like, I don't want it to fail, or I don't think it's going to be bad. I just it's hard to tell. I'm a Mega Man fan. This isn't technically Mega Man. It's gonna be the gameplay from Legends, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm mixed on it. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to it or if I'm not. I'm just sort of in the middle.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Where I want it to be good. It has my interest, but it hasn't fully sold me on it yet. And I'm waiting for that one thing that they can show me that's like, okay, yes, this is totally worth it. And, you know, maybe I can, even if I don't kickstart it, I might still pick it up later when it's finally released. You know, you don't know. But as of right now, it's just not enough for me to fully support it. I'm interested, I'm intrigued, but not quite enough. And I think that's what it boils down to for me. But anyway, I think that covers it for our Red Ash discussion. So thank you guys for watching. And if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. And Clement, where can they find you at?
I am on YouTube, Twitter, Miiverse, Tumblr, whatever, at ClementJ64. And I'm actually doing playthroughs of the Legends games currently. So if you're at all interested in seeing what the Legends games have to offer, check out my Let's Plays of those.
Mm-hmm. Probably one of the best ways to pick it up, to check them out right now. Because the games really are that good, at least in my opinion.
And that hard to find. They're very, very expensive.
Yes, they are. I'm very happy to say I have both Legends 1 and 2 and the PSN version of Tron Bond, so thank you, Capcom, for that.
Yeah.
Alright, and of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for more on maybe Red Ash, certainly Mega Man, and other things gaming too. Until next time, guys. Bye.